Episode
You're
24, one episode away
24,
from a
man.
wrap of the season.
That's
Okay,
crazy.
I got a question about your audience.
Do
Early
that.
already.
Do that.
What's
Let's
up?
go. Should we jump in
Um,
or okay? Go ahead.
what's what
He going
what's
yeah.
the temperament of your community?
Are you asking? Can you
The,
curse? Cause you could curse.
No, like, do I have to be all super like stoic, or can
No,
I be goofy?
you could be. You could be
oh, no,
yourself.
please be you.
Be
Oh,
yourself.
okay, cool.
Yeah. No. We you
100% you.
you lay back, just chill, have a dope conversation, talk about finances. We are not. Yeah, we're not doing all that
And the
fake
name, I
stuff.
hope, kind of softens it up a little bit.
Oh yeah, figuring shit out. We got a cuss word in the title, so
That's fair. Oh, it's not about the cussing. It's just I want the people to take what I say seriously and be able to see through the keying that I'm actually serious. So
that's what's up.
That's fact.
Yeah, so we here, episode
Please don't bring no
24.
fluff, and I don't think you is. That's what's up.
You know what it is? I am Bunny Flacs, one half of the figuring shit out. You know my
You're
sites. We've been saying them for like 6-7 months. LucidPerspective.com is the media site. SilverSyndicate.org is the metal site. And
mm-hmm.
BunnyFlax.com. We got King Arthur in the building. What's going on?
You're what up, Brody? Unify and Thrive. Y'all know what time it is. Y'all know what season we on, bro. Got dang on NB
Shit.
Grindstones. We come back next spring. 2020 Faces is the season of punters, man. Get y'all a mask. LED mask 2020faces.com and go download
Word,
the
word.
Cuddy app, man. You know what time it is.
Facts,
Miss
facts.
Wills, what's up, man? How you doing over there? She amp. I like it.
I'm excellent. Look, I,
Let's,
I got my
Feeling good
drinks.
over there.
let's go.
I
You
got
got
my
your
Okay.
drink and my
coffee.
two-step,
Okay.
my coffee and my water.
Yeah, I got my water. I had enough coffee today. I drank 2 cups earlier today. I was getting jittery. I don't generally drink too much coffee, but I had to chill a little bit. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
So we got the financial expert in the house today, man. CEO of Mind Over Money.
.net.
And I was just talking about it. Was it 10 years in the game now?
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Don't say that again, though. People know I'm old.
I'm waiting to say 20 years in the game because I know you can be a super professional by then.
I'm trying to be retired by then, so
Ain't that the truth? Tell me how. I sound
T-
like you got a plan, don't you?
I do.
She even think about it.
You got a
Be
financial exit
planner,
plan?
not have a plan. Yes, I have a plan.
No, she definitely think about that thing, man.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna be done in 10 years. I'm gonna be on the beach, different
Facts.
beach
I'm,
every month.
I'm I like it. I like that energy. So, man, as well as let the people know who you is, what you do, and what you all about.
Yeah. So my name is Tremaine the Great. Tremaine Wills,
Hey,
certified financial education instructor, registered investment advisor. I own Mind Over Money. We are a full service financial planning company. We offer portfolio management, investment advice, tax planning, accounting, bookkeeping, and insurance services. Um, we will
Nice.
be a rival to Bank of America. So be on the lookout. Join the movement.
did you hear the confidence in it? We will be a rival to Bank of America. I just wanted to point that out if y'all didn't catch that.
Oh yeah.
Dope.
That's what's up.
Dope. So I guess we could get started here. I guess our very first question, or one of the questions we try to ask every guest is, what was your
Mhm.
figuring shit out moment? Whether it was something you realized about finances, your career, life, working a 9 to 5 as opposed to being an entrepreneur. Do you have a definite moment where you're like, I'm figuring this shit out, or I figured this shit out?
I think it kind of came in waves. So, my first introduction to entrepreneurship was braiding hair. I had a
Okay.
business when I was 12. It was called Tame Your Mane, Braids by Tremaine.
Mm,
And I was really, really good at the braids. I'm talking about like all the designs. Like, okay,
oh, the angles
it
and the
was
cuts. And,
yes,
okay. Okay.
yes, yes.
Gosh almighty.
Dope.
Listen, it was phenomenal. Okay, my business was booming. Um, and so I mean, I got my knuckles. I probably cracked them all today, but I got
Lord.
the arthritis to prove it. But um, I was really good at taking my skills and turning it into income. But I quickly learned that I needed to figure out how to make this money work harder so that I didn't have to work as hard. Because
Facts.
y'all might not know this, but you standing around doing hair 8 to 10 hours a day, you got back pain. And I'm like, oh,
Right.
snap. I am
Trading time.
17. Why does my back hurt
Fact.
like this?
Right.
Right?
Mhm.
And so then I was like, okay, I've learned a lot watching people hustle. Like I know how to make the money, but how do I make the money make more money for me? Right. And so that kind of was the shift I experienced. Instead of just trying to chase fast cash, figuring out like what these people know that they're not telling us.
Mm.
So that's kind of when the light
And
bulb
they
switched, and
got
I decided to
secrets.
go to college
Right.
for business and economics. So yes.
Okay, cool.
Did you
So
find out what they
it's
weren't telling us?
Oh yeah, they was investing and buying assets, right? They were making their dollars go to work so that they didn't have to.
facts. I'm still trying to learn that. I feel like
Oh
I'm
yeah.
starting to understand it. But yeah, no, there's a lot of work to. I have a lot of work, lot to learn. You know what I mean? So I'm glad we got you here because we're gonna ask you a lot of
Mm-hmm.
questions.
Oh, I'm gonna answer all of them too.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
So my thing is like, so when you find your clients, what's some of the first things you figure out when you're working with a client to like get them to where they got to go or stuff like that?
Um, so money is super emotional, right? It's
Mm.
a lot less about the plan and more about the why. I think that for many people, they just assume like, well, once I get this plan in place, everything gonna work great.
Oh
And
my
nah.
God. Right.
Like you
100%.
can sit down and write out a budget and like an immaculate financial strategy, but if it is not in alignment with the values that you have and like a compelling enough reason to change, it don't matter how much you plan. And I mean that's the case for most people, not even just related to finance. Like any goal you try to go after, we see it with like the gym and people trying to
Mm-hmm.
eat better and all of the things, right?
Start and then
So
fall off.
it goes back to like that emotional connection. What's the reason we have to change? So that's what
Well,
I dive into first. I like to get in people's head.
Oh,
okay.
okay, psychology of it. And what's some of the reasons why people spend the way they spend, or what's some of the reasons why they control their spending to where they can get where they got to go?
Why people spend the way they spend. So if I
He's
had
talking
to
about me.
diagnose people, I would say that most people fall into four different types of money scripts, right? So a money script is like a archetype for different money personality. So the first one is money status. And so this is when people spend money to appear to have a certain level of wealth, respect,
Right.
keeping up
Faking
with
it.
the Joneses, that
Right.
kind of stuff, right? Where you believe that acquiring different things gives you status and people should respect you because of the things you have, right? So that's money status. That's one of the reasons very prevalent in our community.
Right.
Why people spend, right? That's why you see people with like the latest designer
Mm-hmm.
and they ain't got no money in the designer bag, right?
Jordans and the shoes and the
I'm
Gucci's
sorry.
and
I'm
take their
sorry.
money and
The
transfer it to
Kanye
clothes.
line. The Kanye line was, "I thought I bought my way to heaven, but I spent it on the necklaces."
Listen. But yeah, so
That's all I
that's
hear.
money status. Um,
Look rich, right? That's the look rich. Look
yeah,
like you got it,
yeah.
even though you
Money
may or may
status or
not have
money
it.
worship, right?
Right.
The next one is
So the first one, I'm not the first one. I know that. I know that for sure. I don't
um
Yeah,
really try
nah,
to. I
not
don't
me.
really try
I
to
don't do the
flex
money
like.
status.
hold on, let me go back to my oh no, so that was money status. Money worship is when you
Okay.
think money is the answer to all things, right? So
Right.
any problem that you
Okay.
have, if you just throw money at it, it'll get fixed.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see people who have always had access to money, but they're sometimes their kids come out resenting their parents. So if you had a father who was always working, never came to any football games, never showed
Right.
up for any parent functions, but you always got a new
You.
Beamer or
Right. Right.
whatever
So the rich
thing, right, for
people.
your birthday. Yeah, right.
Right.
Not and this is not all rich people, right? 'Cause that's not.
Yeah, the rich people that
I ain't gonna
neglect
put people.
family and friends, and there's always
Yes.
business, make money.
Yeah,
Okay,
and
got
so whenever there's a problem, just like, oh, throw the money at it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's money worship. Money fixes all things. Then there is Status Stacy, Worship Wanda. I named them to try to keep them straight.
Nice. I'm
The
waiting to hear mine because I know I
That's
have
a
to be
new one.
one of these.
next one, I can't remember the specific name for it, but basically it's when you vigilance. Vigilance Vicky. It's when you hoard all the money. So
Mm-hmm.
this can come from extreme poverty when you are not sure, like
Oh,
you
you
can
live
never
in a
experience
lack.
another time
Right.
when
Right.
you don't have money. So you become extremely frugal
Right.
when you so like you could have $10,000 in the bank, but that ain't enough. And you just continue to save and save and save and save and
And
save.
yet you have a fear, right, of losing
You
it.
have a fear of going back to some previous time where you didn't have. And so these people are extremely frugal, and they don't get to ever enjoy the fruit of their labor.
Right. Okay. That's
And
not me.
then the last one, gosh, and this is mine. Why can't I not think of the name of it? But it's the one where you have the fear of abundance. And so
Oh, we froze.
and that money is the root of all evil.
Mm-hmm.
And so you believe that if you attain any level of wealth on a certain level, that makes you evil. And so people avoid accumulating wealth because they don't want to be evil. And the reality is, money has no personality.
Right.
It's just a resource, right? It takes on the characteristics of the person who is in charge of it. So if you were a generous giving person before you became wealthy, you will be a generous giving person when you are wealthier. And so money, it doesn't define us, it only enhances the traits that we have. And so I think like there's this weird thing that people are like, oh, you're going to change, you get money. No, that was always you.
Right.
Right? That's
right.
always who you were. This, it just amplifies more of that because you have more resource. And that's the case for any resource, right?
Right. That's facts.
So, but yeah,
That's
now
facts.
I'm mad I can't think of what that
If you
says.
do, you can just
All right,
you can
so-
stop
so
us at
we
any
had-
time and like let us know so we can know it. But
Yeah. I want to run it back right quick. So you got the fear of abundance, right?
uh-huh.
Yeah.
The worrying of losing it, right?
Mm-hmm.
We got the was it the vigilance? No,
The rich motherfuckers.
Money status and money worship.
money status and money worship.
Mhm.
All right. And so yeah, all of those sound like
Money
they're prevalent.
avoidance. That's what it's called. Her name was
Money
Avoidance
avoidance.
Angela. That's what I
Oh,
call
okay.
her.
Right.
That's the one that's
Avoidance.
scared to lose
That's
money.
the one who avoids building wealth.
Oh, okay. Because they think it's evil
So she
and
got
you
all
have
the
to
money
be an
and
evil
won't.
person.
She got all the money and won't invest none of it.
No, this is the one that doesn't even try to make a lot of money. Or when she does, she'll
Oh.
give a lot of it away.
Oh,
Okay.
Because in her core, she doesn't believe that people can be wealthy and be good people.
Okay.
All right. So once you kind of identify these within the person, right? So what's the next step to like to get them to overcome it? Like, is it?
Identify why you think that way.
Mm-hmm.
Everything goes back to some kind of trauma.
Mhm.
A condition that you have to unlearn, right? So I know for me, I was avoidance Angela. I thought that money, wealthy people were bad, right? So if you was making a whole bunch of money in my head, oh, you did something wrong.
You
Like,
done
Robbing
killed some people.
somebody,
who you scammed,
right?
nobody
Yeah.
get that, right?
Scamming somebody, robbing somebody, right? Yeah.
Listen, okay, and that's what my subconscious was thinking. So even though when I first started on this journey, I knew all of the things, but I was unconsciously sabotaging all of my efforts because deep down I was like, people who are wealthy are bad, right? And so it took a lot of therapy, y'all, but going through that, I learned like I was conditioned to believe that, oh, I couldn't be wealthy because that means I was a bad person. I didn't want to be a bad person. So, and I think a lot of us unknowingly walk around with that money script,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because I see it a lot on social media, and I get so mad because people are like,
Call 'em out.
you know, what is Beyonce doing to give back? Like, that's Beyonce money. Why are you worried about what Beyonce doing with
Yes.
Beyonce money? Like,
Right. Get your right.
if
No.
you got $2 extra, you donate to the charity you want to donate to.
I'm gonna
Right?
say
It's
it
not
again
her
for-
responsibility
gosh,
to do all the things that you would do. Like, go make the money first, and then you could do what you would do with it. Right?
Or
But
do what you can with what you have.
that part, because as we talked about earlier, it's just an extension of who you are, what you you would do anyway. But I think people use that as an excuse, like, oh, if I had $10 million, I would do this, and this. Well, you ain't doing
Knowing
it with 10
damn
cents.
well,
So,
right? No, they'll probably be doing the same thing, splurging, going on vacation, buying bullshit, because, like you
that's why
said,
people who be winning the lottery,
it
be
makes you
running out
more of who
money.
you are. Right.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a symptom of a lot of people that grow up in poverty. Because like I grew up, like my parents told me that. You know what I'm saying? Like people with the money, they're the bad people. They steal, they cheat, whatever. And it's like you grow up with that mindset. Like I can't get it because I'm a good person, right? You think of yourself, oh, I'm a good person. I'm not gonna rob nobody. I'm not gonna steal, cheat. So that means I got to live in struggle and lack because I'm not willing to whatever, be this other person. But yeah, that is a myth that needs to be debunked.
Glorifying the struggle it is sad, right? Yeah. We condition and like perpetuate the stereotype that you have to give everything you have back all the time. And the reality is it takes wealth to make change. You Facts. Need money to move the needle. So we have to be intentional about going to make more money. Like you cannot change a community with no money.
Goddamn right.
That's facts.
So that's the call. If you don't hear nothing else from this podcast, go make some more money.
Right.
Bro, I always say, like, yeah, saving is cool, right? But if you ain't going to make no more money, what we doing here?
Saving is trash.
Thank you.
Saving is trash. Okay, so
it is. Go ahead.
Okay, talk to him.
Let me clean this up.
Let's
be professional.
Yes.
In case
I'm here for this.
The FINRA people listening and the SEC, like, look, if they listening, you need an emergency fund. It should be 3 to 6 months of your living expenses. Yes, okay. But after that, if your money is not outpacing inflation every year, you are losing money. Y'all know these inflation numbers is crazy. I've been reading these statistics. Groceries is up 12% in 1 year. What?
Trigger warning.
Listen,
12%, like general inflation is over 9% in a year. And you talk about putting this money in your Bank of America account that's getting 0.02%. If you don't stop playing with me.
Bro. Remember that thing you sent me, the Clark Schwab, or was it whatever that?
Clark Schwab, yeah.
Clark Schwab.
That bank, they were like, if you give us $500K and you refer somebody, or if you refer somebody and they put $500K, we'll give you $1,000. That's like 0.02% or some bullshit. Like, bro, if I have $500K, I'm not worried about your little $1,000. You know what I'm saying? These banks they're not doing nothing with those savings accounts.
Listen, because the interest rates are ridiculous. Insane. You have to outpace inflation. You have to. There's just no getting around it. Every year that your money is not making more money than the rate of inflation, you are losing money. And then don't get me started on how people not even making that percent in a raise every year. You getting a 3% raise and you clapping? Like, what? They robbing you.
This is it.
So yes. You had the stank face. Like, how bad does it bother you to see people in a state of ignorance, right? Or not willing to take the information to even, mull it over,
I have learned that everybody is at a different place, right? There are some people who are just not ready to change. And so that's not who I'm talking to, right? If you are comfortable in the discomfort that you are in, more power to you. I pray that you get too uncomfortable one day that you decide to do something different. But then there's a group of people who've been listening to information like this. They done listened to 17 different podcasts about concepts like this, and they are paralyzed from inaction. And everybody is saying the same thing, and they looking for a reason not to change. I'm mad at those people. That's what this disdain is for. Like, don't listen to now another podcast talking about you need to go make some more money, and then you go figure out a reason why you just got to cut your expenses. No.
Oh my God, thank you. There it is. Say it again for the people in the back.
There's not that much cutting in the world. You have to go make more money. Now, if you can cut expenses and go make more money, excellent. But at the end of the day, you have to make more money. So all these personal finance people that just be like, oh, cut out the avocado toast and don't be going to Starbucks every day.
They're the worst.
Like, no. that little $6 a day ain't what's keeping you broke. It's because you make $13 an hour.
That teaches. So I feel like that enforces and that teaches a mindset of lack of resources, and it keeps you in that space, right, where you're just like, okay, I have a limited amount of income, so I need to work within this boundary, and if it doesn't, let me cut this, let me cut that, let me live in sacrifice, let me just live in poverty.
Man. It's depressing.
Right. Are you looking for a media agency that covers all the creative tasks that make a business successful? Lucid Perspective produces elegant, high-resolution graphics and logos, high-definition and 4K video, complete with treatment concepts and innovative editing. Lucid Perspective provides photography services such as fashion, advertisements, product or service, and aerial photography. We also help businesses build their brands from the ground up with complete campaigns that will make your business attractive to your target audience. We can bring your brand to the masses with our effective and strategic marketing campaigns to include sales funnels, eye-catching advertisements, breakthrough digital marketing through social media, and other digital avenues. Visit lucidperspective.com today.
I used to live like that. Okay, so let me tell you something.
Let's go.
I used to be a teacher in North Carolina. Okay, and this is with a master's degree after working for a financial services company. And so I'm telling you this because I knew better, and I still was like messed up in the head about this give back service stuff. Right. North Carolina was the 49th worst paying state for teachers. Okay, 49. I was making $32,000 with a master's degree. Okay.
Yikes.
And I was like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna get a roommate, and we're gonna cook all the time, and I'm not gonna go out and do nothing. It wasn't nothing to do because I was living in Rocky Mount, North Carolina, but that's not the point. But what it taught me was it made me even more miserable. And so when you lose hope, you don't have money, you're sad, it takes away your hope and your ambition, your desire to pull yourself out. So the answer is not solely cutting back. That makes you sad. Right? The inspiration, the motivation, the creativity that comes from a higher level. That can't come from a place of lack. All of this stuff is breeded when you feel like you're at the top of your game. Then you start to think of solutions of how you can make stuff different. That don't come from, oh my goodness, I have to eat peanut butter and jelly because that's all my budget can afford.
Right.
Like what? No. Like there can be certain periods of time where you're committed to a particular goal and you're like, all right, cool. For the next 90 days, like I'm not spending no money because all of my effort is concentrated. But like 2 years of rice and beans so that you can pay off some debt.
5 or 10 years,
Don't play with me. No, that's miserable. That's not what this life is.
It keeps you in that low vibration. It's horrible.
Yeah.
I got it. Personal responsibility, man. I scream it all the time. Personal responsibility. You gotta take responsibility for yourself. Help yourself, and help is coming. It always comes. But if you're not out there helping yourself, ain't nobody helping you. That is 100% fact. And I forgot the third one, but personal responsibility is one I got, bro. Discipline. You got to be disciplined. Oh yeah, if you saving the money, what you saving it for? Scared money don't make no money. If I'm gonna save this $1,500, what I'm gonna do with it when I get it? And if I lose it, so what? I did it. I tried it. And guess what? I know I can save $1,500, so I guess I'm gonna do it again. Save $1,500, and I'm gonna go try me another flip. God damn it! Sorry.
Yeah. The thing is, like, people don't know what they be saving for, right? Money, look, and this is gonna sound crazy, but money don't even matter. Money is nothing but energy. So if there's no goal or outcome connected to why you're doing something with the money, it doesn't matter. There's no emotional connection, no drive to push it. People are like, oh, I want to be a millionaire. Why? What's going to make you work hard to push to that? Because it's not easy, right? It's attainable.
It is very attainable.
It's not easy. You can do it. It's just not easy. And so if there's no reason why,
when you get it?
If there's no reason why, you're not going to keep going when it get hard, because it get hard.
It does.
It's extremely hard.
What would you say is, dealing with your clients or just dealing with people in general, what would you say is the biggest misconception about wealth building? That if you had a magic wand, you could just wave that bitch and then have everybody fix their mindset and then fix everybody's problem.
Consistency.
Boom.
I think that people assume you need more money to start than you have to have. You need discipline and consistency to get rich over time, right? This is not a microwave thing, right? Now, it can be accelerated. There's lots of ways to put, more into the fire to make it grow faster. But you don't have to have $100,000 today. You just need to have $100,000 vision.
Idea, yeah.
$1 million vision, the desire to get to the next level. And it could be $5 right now, but you got to take that step. Most people are looking for any excuse as to why it can't be them. And it will not be you if you
That's
believe
facts.
that.
Right. All I heard growing up, I'm not Rockefeller. Money doesn't grow on trees. I'm not, all these sayings, and like you
Money
repeat
do
them
grow on trees though, okay? Money grow everywhere.
Right. It does. I know better now. But growing up, it was always these sayings, and like they repeat it, and then now you grow up saying it, and it's like, oh, it's just so hard to try. You know what I'm saying?
Listen,
I can't do this because I don't got the money for it. Bro, go get it. You know what I'm saying?
listen. I don't say nothing is hard no more.
Facts.
I can do anything.
There you
Because
go.
the more you say it, the more you start to believe it. People be solidifying themselves in these jails. They in a
Mental.
prison in their mind, and you got to get free.
The
Like
Nothing will
person
never
who
change.
says I can and the person who says I can't are both usually right.
That's right.
facts. Somebody out there
But
need to
gotta go
hear
there and
this.
Get to it.
There's a mention for
Man, somebody
somebody.
I needed to it.
Somebody.
And I forgot it too, but they ain't gonna I forgot. Sorry. My bad.
You straight. You straight. So let me see. Financial advisor, right? So you are now you're a licensed. I'm assuming you're a licensed financial advisor. You work for yourself more, or do you work for a firm or a company, or Mind Over Matter is your firm?
That is a great question. I'm glad you asked. I am 100% independent. So,
Boom. Let's go.
my company is registered to me by me.
Facts.
I am the chief decision maker. So,
Let's go.
if we do great, it
Right.
is a great day. And if we don't do great, I
Do
hate
better.
talking to myself about it.
Do better the next time. Find out what happened and fix it.
Listen, okay? Like, girl, you suck today. Okay.
That's what's up.
And what about your team? So do you have a team with you, or are you doing it by yourself?
I do. Oh Lord, no, Jesus. Well, I hope I
Yeah.
never have to go back to those days where I ain't have no help.
That's where we are right now.
I learned the lesson of trying to be a superwoman, and it ain't do nothing but burn your girl out. So I started
That's right.
outsourcing and bringing on people who are experts in their space, so that I can keep my company because your girl don't know but a handful of things. But the things that I know, I know it well. So that's how I started building my team, outsourcing particular pieces to people who were experts in their space. So
Facts.
shout out
How
to
many people you got
my
on your
folks
team?
for helping me keeping it happen. So I have 2 W-2 employees. Everybody else is 1099. Altogether, I want to say there's 7 people running the ship. Yeah.
No. What would you say is
Thank the Lord for the people.
what would you say your clients come to you the most for? So like when someone shows up at your doorstep, what is it that they're looking for in a financial advisor? Is it to get rich, get out of debt, learn some things?
Most people are looking for organization.
Okay.
They need like a system to make it easy. And so especially since we work primarily with entrepreneurs, our whole thing is, how can I make this repetitious? Just do the same thing over and over again so that it becomes easy, right? Because building wealth is actually very boring. Once you find the recipe that works,
right,
you rinse and repeat, period, right? And I think retail investors are confused about that. They look for the next hot trend and end up losing their money, right? The average retail investor, that's everybody that's not an institutional investor, right? That's not with the big hedge funds or with a company like me, right? 85% of the population loses money investing because so
Makes
busy
sense.
chasing trends, right? So just getting people to a place where we have them on their nice, boring plan and just following the system. And I think that helps make everything else in the business that they're running smoother, because now they don't have to think about the money. When you don't have to think about how your money's moving and you could just focus on getting more of it.
That's the goal. That's the dream right there.
Listen.
Sounds like a plan.
That's the dream. I should have had my air horns ready to go on that. So
does everybody have does the same formula work for everybody, or is all formulas kind of custom to each person?
It's customized, but there's a base system, right? So you have to stabilize your foundation. You need to make sure there's enough cash reserves to put out any fires, right? Get your life insurance so that your assets are protected. But outside of that, It's asset accumulation. You want to acquire as many assets as possible and make those assets acquire more assets. That essentially is the formula. And how you do it varies from person to person, right? So some people are like, I don't want to do any day to day nothing. Just put all my money in the market and keep
Mm,
buying stocks, bonds, all that good stuff. Others are like, I'm
Mm.
going to acquire my assets through real estate. And I
mm,
might diversify a little bit by having some in the market, but I like buying property, right? But at the end of the day, everybody's doing the same thing. They're buying assets that produce cash to buy more assets, and they're just putting stuff back in and rebuilding.
Okay.
So until you get to a place where you're ready to start drawing from those assets, that is the game. Acquire more assets.
right.
Would would a business be an asset? Like if you
Yes.
buy a business or build a business?
Yeah, as long as it's a profitable business, right? Those are assets.
Mm.
And that's what you see lots of ultra high net worth people do, right? So they might be NFL entertainer, right? In that kind of space, but then what they go do? They go buy a franchise or
Mm.
they go purchase um or start a beauty line or
Mm,
skincare. That's the same thing. But you get what I'm saying, right? They acquire something that in turn is going to generate more assets, especially these product businesses, right? That's why you see a lot of people. I feel like 17 different entertainers started beauty lines in the past 2 years. Like,
yeah,
we
that
wasn't
sounds about
looking at
right.
your skin, sis, but they
Right.
know we spend money in that space. So they're like, I'm about to put
Facts.
this product out and they about to make me some more money, right? Because it sells. It's a business model that works. So with high profit margins. But you get the business started and then you start generating recurring revenue. Listen, that's what all of this is. People are just acquiring more assets.
Do you help, as far as clients, do you help? Let's say somebody comes with you, they have, I don't know, 20, 30, 40, $50,000. Do you help? I guess you talk to them, you decipher the psychology or whatever. Do you help them invest that
Yeah,
or find investments for them, what they're comfortable with,
yeah,
so they
yeah,
can
yeah.
try to build a cash flow asset
Mhm,
portfolio? Okay,
mhm.
that's good.
So is that the Greater Academy or is that something totally different?
Listen, okay, Grady
Talk
Academy is
to
like, yes, okay, listen. So when I first went on my own, so I've been in personal finance since 2012, right? I
him.
left the employer I was working for because it was trash in 2014. And I came back home and I was like, I'm about to start teaching everybody in the hood about money. We all gonna be
Let's
rich.
go.
I
Do
came
it.
back and like 6 or 7 people started showing up to those classes.
Hey,
And I was like,
that's
what? Y'all gonna
something.
be broke. Y'all gonna be broke forever, right?
No, you didn't say
I was
that.
mad. I was so mad. I
Oh
was I was
Lord.
out here ranting like,
That's
I got
funny.
all this game, nobody coming. I was
You
even
can't.
providing food.
Yeah, you
I was
can't
pissed.
inspire people. Like, people gonna do what they want to
I
do. But you tried
I know
though.
that now.
Right.
I know that now, right?
You got to go through
Um,
it though.
I was angry. I was mad as hell. I was so angry. Um, and so at that time, I just was like, I'm in a position to teach. I'm gonna teach. We're gonna be great. And they wasn't buying, right? But people don't like talking about money when they don't have no money. So
Ooh,
wasn't nobody coming because they didn't want to be exposed for being broke, right?
that's
You
a
can
quote.
have a conversation about money with other people that don't have money and not feel no kind of way. But
Hmm.
when there's an expert in the room, they know when you on BS,
Right.
right? So nobody's gonna come talk to a financial advisor about money
In
when
front of people.
like no, they
That
gonna
was that
come a
secure
fraud.
insecurities.
That's I never
Yeah,
thought about that. That's a different way of
yeah,
looking at it.
yeah.
Right.
So and that's something to pay attention to in a lot of different spaces. Like, this is something I've been navigating in business. When you walk into rooms, when people can be an expert in one space but are insecure in spaces with other people who are experts, that lets you know they're not really confident about their stuff.
Mm.
They only
Mm.
feel good when they know their audience has no idea what they're talking about.
Ooh, that's real.
So, but
They
yeah,
out
so
there.
like I started to realize all this kind of stuff, and I'm like,
Hmm.
okay, that makes sense, right? People don't want to be insecure, especially not about their money, when we're in a community that's like, you only get respect if you got money. So you lose your credibility, you lose like power, influence when people
Hmm.
realize you broke.
Right.
So, I got over this feeling that like, oh, they're gonna be broke forever. It's just, it wasn't time. That wasn't the space for it.
Right.
So I was trying to figure out like, how can I still value what I know and pay myself, but still transform the community. And so all these iterations came from me realizing, like, okay, the only way to provide a low cost service and still get what I'm paid for my time is to do a group program that has on demand videos and trainings and that kind of stuff. So I created the academy for that so that I could teach, but not feel like I was being undervalued. Because one thing I know, especially for Black women, is that we will serve and serve and serve and give away $5,000 a game for 26 cents.
Wow.
Like, and I'm not gonna be nobody's billionaire doing that.
That's facts.
So I was like, this is the way to approach that. This is how you scale and reach lots of people, but make it affordable. And Greater Academy came. So people can come every month. I do a 90-minute Q&A. So you get to access me, but on my time with other people. For that low price point. I only charge $50 a month. And so they get access to my QuickBooks discount, the financial planning software that I use. If they want to start investing, I help them with that. And then on-demand videos and templates. So you get everything you need to do it yourself, and you can still ask questions once a month for $50.
That's dope. That's dope.
That's very affordable. And oh, by the way, I got licenses and certifications. I'm a top 100 financial advisor. So this ain't no fake. Oh, by the way, I just had to, let y'all know.
What's that?
Look, I ain't no TikTok influencer. I mean,
this ain't no.
That's
club.
the goal too, man.
No,
Shit, get
club.
your social influence. We trying to do that too. So that's
yeah.
What do you think is something like when you talked about reaching out to your people and only 6-7 people showed up? What do you think is a possible solution to get more people to wake up or to want more for themselves and to seek out information despite insecurities, despite the current financial situation? Like, because, I got family and friends in the same boat. We try to get on some type of conversation sometimes, and it's like they're just not at that level. But it's like I wish I could flip a switch and change your mind. You know what I mean? So
the best way is to be the example. So back then, this was, even though I had gone and worked for that company, I myself hadn't reached milestones that I could brag and boast about. Like, I hadn't purchased a home yet, right? I didn't have $10,000 in my investment account. There were things that I hadn't done that I couldn't tell you how to do. I could just teach you what you should do. Right. So there's a different conversation when you can say, oh, this is how I did it, and you can show somebody the way. There's a difference between showing somebody the way and telling them the way. Telling people doesn't work as well as being able to show, like, step by step, this is how you avoid that obstacle, versus, oh, I read in a book. This is what you do, and I'm and that actually, this is shade. It's a lot of people that
go ahead
regurgitate what they've read off Google.
Oh my God.
Or somebody's class they took that want to be an expert, but you talking about making 6 figures and you ain't never made 6 figures.
Yeah.
So you can't tell me what to do. You ain't had a $10,000 month yourself. What you talking about?
And I think that's this new thing that's going around. Like, everybody's making courses for stuff, and it's like you don't even know them from anywhere. You just see an ad pop up, some random person making a course, and it's like it's almost like it's saturated now. Like, everybody got courses, and it's like
it is, but it ain't. The thing is, people are capitalizing on people's impatience. True. A lot of people want the quick answer, the fast way to do stuff. So if you're a really good marketer, you can get anybody's coins. But that is not a longevity play. A lot of people are also quickly being exposed because people take your course and they realize ain't no results.
Right.
I'm snitching.
Let's go. Get that Yelp review popping, right?
Yeah, like, show me the fruit. And that's also something you learn the more you put money out into this space, right? And I've gone through a lot of different situations where I'm like, ooh, that stung. But because I've spent $10, $15, $25,000 on programs, I can tell the difference between who's actually done this and who hasn't. And when I'm telling somebody, oh, my fee is $7,000, I'm confident saying that because I spent more than that.
Right. And you ain't coming down.
Else, right?
And
Right.
don't ask for no discounts, no friend discounts.
Oh no! If you ask for a discount, I actually block you, and I've done that already.
Oh,
There you
gosh,
go.
right.
There you go.
I'm serious because
Do it to him.
I'm
real.
not lying. I hope he actually is listening
Her
to
face
this,
is so straight, though.
because I'm not lying.
Are you new in town or need a fresh cut on the fly? Let me show you a convenient way to hire a mobile hair care pro now. Simply download the Cuddy app from the App Store. Create a profile and have access to professional mobile barbers and stylists in your area. The Cuddy app allows you to browse for hair care professionals 24/7. View their profile and share your locations to find the nearest one. Once you've found the perfect pro with just a click of a button, have your professional meet you in a matter of minutes. This means no more worrying about running late, waiting for the next chair to open, or missing your appointment completely. Reclaim your valuable time and put your mind at ease knowing your hair care pro is on the way. Cuddy app is the only place to hire a hair care pro whenever you are ready, wherever you are. Cuddy app. Join the revolution today.
That's real.
You have to respect yourself enough to stop providing discounts for your service, especially when you have receipts. When you have receipts and you know your stuff works, you know you give excellent advice, you know you have a quality product or service, don't discount, because that erases your credibility. Because when people are like, oh, you need me. No, I don't need you, baby. I don't. You need me. So you're going to pay for this or you're not.
I learned that the hard way. Myself,
Hey, Frank.
What's up?
She was talking to me about the mask, dog. And the people was asking, I sell the mask $30, and they was like, I give it 25, and I was saying, yeah, so easy to. And look, and him and the other dude looking at me like doing just like that behind me, telling me something.
We was. Every time somebody tried to negotiate with you down, we was just like, it wouldn't be me, you know what I'm saying? But it's not my. I was just like, talk to the man. That's the man. That's his shit. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, man,
No, we don't compete on price. We don't compete on price. That's the quickest way to be poor.
Yeah. No, I had to struggle with that. So like over the past 10 years, I've learned doing graphic design, doing websites for people. I used to do that as well. Like I would give people discounts, do shit for free. And I've learned over several years, like, bro, this ain't working. You know what I'm saying? Now, and I'll build resentment doing something for somebody that I know I should be getting paid for, and then they just asking me for all this other stuff. So like,
That's it.
Yeah. So I'm a totally different person now. If you asked me for something 10 years ago, I probably would have did for free. But if you ask me today, it's like, nah, I need my time compensated. You know what I'm saying?
Same. I think we all learned that lesson, right? And I can confidently say this stuff now because there was a time when I was doing monthly meetings with people, and I was charging $30. Do y'all hear that? Like, what is wrong with me? I feel a way saying that out loud, but you don't laugh. I'm actually hurting on the inside right now. $30. Oh my god. I love you, Krista. But
it's all good.
It's that's a lesson we have to learn. But so many people get stuck there. And they don't have the confidence in themselves to move to that next level. Like, ain't nobody getting millionaire status doing stuff for free all the time. Like, you go do your free stuff after you got to a level where you can give it away.
Facts. That's real.
So, when you took your first course, when you paid your first astronomical fee for something, right? What happened there? Because I know it was a time when you had to pay $5 You was like, am I really about to hit them with the $5?
Listen, okay. I didn't realize I was learning it at the time, but you invest to the level of your expectations of the outcomes, right? Ooh, so a lot of people consistently consume free content because they don't have belief in the outcome of whatever they're learning or whatever product or service they're receiving. But when you are expecting some level of transformation, that will dictate how much you're willing to spend. So I believe that price is much more reflective of the buyer's belief in the transformation, right? Many people offer lots of different services, and oftentimes the $99 ones don't really differ that much from the $9,000 ones. It's just a matter of the belief of the person who is purchasing. Right. And so if I'm paying you $9,000 for something, I have a higher level of expectation than if I pay you $99. So
that's psychology, right? So it's like, okay, I'm giving you $9K. I'm gonna make this shit work. It's gonna have value. But if I give you 100, you know what I'm saying? I'll touch it every time. You know,
That's
I'll look at
right.
it once or twice this week. Maybe I'll go back to it next week. You know.
That's right.
And that
And
makes
so
sense.
honestly, if you want to get rid of the people who are not all in, raise your prices. You'll go to a different demographic. And so, but when I did raise my prices, I realized I felt like I was leaving a particular population behind. And so that's why I created the academy
Right.
to like, okay, if you still in this space, you can play around in this space at this price point.
Right.
And you get this much of my time.
Right.
But when you are ready
Right.
to come to the comma club,
step it up. We're talking about that for
come
our
join
course,
me
bro.
and pay this comma and join this club, right? So, yeah, pricing, it separates different
That's
types
You
right.
can
of
say that confidently because you put that amount of, you know.
Yeah, I was
energy into
scared.
yourself,
Like, don't
right?
get me wrong. I was scared. Even like when I a couple years ago, I paid for a coaching program. It was only like $9.97, but I felt
man,
like, you know,
Yeah, you was doing something. You about to learn some shit.
I was like $9.97. It was
And let me guess,
3
did
months.
it have a markdown from like 5,000? They had a red
It
line
always does.
across it, and then it had the
It always
997.
does because that's psychology,
Right.
right? But it wasn't even about that. It was priced appropriately for the audience she was trying to reach. People who were kind of breaking out of like this low level DIY stuff and moving into, okay, I need some help, but I ain't big balling yet. Right? So $9.97 was it was enough push for people to be committed. And like that was my first light bulb. Like, oh, I gotta make this $9.97 back because I barely was making $2,000-$3,000 a month at that time.
But it pushed you, right? So making
It
that
did.
purchase pushed you
And
to
then
be
I
like,
made that
okay,
money back in 60 days. I sure did.
that's what's up. That's dope. So we were talking about doing a podcast course because, you know, this is our first season or whatever. I don't want to say what we were going to charge, King. I feel like we shouldn't even put that on here.
No, we ain't gonna put it out.
Okay.
But it was just a fact of kind of what you were just saying of we've gotten this far.
Right.
So these are things and steps that we took to get this far.
True.
Right. And then next season we'll probably give you steps on how we got that far.
There's a level of course, service, product for every entry point, right? And so I think that people misconstrue that you have to have like ultimate success before you go back and teach anything, but the degrees of separation between who you're trying to reach, they shouldn't be that far, right?
Right.
Because
and there's people in those boundaries.
Yeah. So for people who are brand new podcasters, taking a course from somebody who's a year ahead of you, like that's fresh information.
Right.
They removed from the obstacles you have to overcome, like the way to market, the way to get the latest tools and resources. Like the information isn't that different. But having a conversation with somebody or taking a course from somebody who podcasting for 10 years, like when you first started, first of all, some of these platforms weren't even around. So
exactly. It was just audio. You had to hear our voice, and there was no video, and we had to talk for 3 hours. Yeah.
So there's a space for different things. My qualm is with the people who just start and talking about here's how you get $10,000 of sponsorship from podcasting, but I'm still covering my podcast out of my pocket. Like
that's us.
You can't teach a course on that.
That's a fact.
That's us.
Okay.
For sure. I feel like I want to switch up the topic a little bit up to debt, right? Let's say somebody comes to you, potential client, they're like, I'm in debt up to my eyeballs. How do I get out? What is
go make more money?
Boom. Okay. I guess that's it. That's that segment.
I love it.
I mean, that's the short answer, but honestly, so debt is supposed to be used to make more money. When you have debt, my question always is like, what kind of debt is it? How much is the debt? How expensive is it? If the debt is less than 6%, so like let's say you got a mortgage that's 4.5, you got you know.
Are you talking about the APR interest?
Yeah, okay. You got a credit card. No, you don't got a credit card. That's under 6. That's a lie.
Nobody does.
You might have an introductory promo or something like that, right?
0% for the first year, yeah.
Yeah, but like if your debts are cheap and you could take that money and go make more money somewhere else. Like, I'm not telling nobody to rush and pay off no 3% loan. Like, if you don't pay them people back slow as hell forever, like,
as long
don't
as
rush
it's
to
a
pay it
low,
off.
right? As long as it's like a
Yeah,
low APR
yeah,
and it's
yeah.
not killing you too much.
Yeah, because you use other people's money to go make more money. That's what debt is for, right? But you out here, you got credit cards, 29.9% interest. Baby, if you don't go make some more money and pay that debt off, because that's expensive.
Thank you. Yes, and those interest charges per month, especially at that rate, is like the minimum. It'll be interest in the minimum. Like, you got the minimum, then the interest is what the minimum is. So then you pay the minimum, right? And then your thing goes down $10, or it might even go up. So you're paying monthly, and it's not even going down. It's like,
sound like he had some experience with that.
Yes,
no,
yes,
I
do.
personally have experience with that.
Yes,
and that's why I personally have experience with that. I was $20,000 in credit card debt when I was leaving my first job. I was miserable, y'all, but I was in that TJ Maxx just swiping, right?
So clothes
but
wasn't
that's why
making
I
you
know
money.
like these high credit card interest rates, because mine was high, right? But and the answer was go make more money to pay it off, because there's no amount of creative budgeting that is going to allow you to get out of debt quickly, so that you can get back to investing. So, of course, let me give you a little bit of structure, right? You want to make a list of all your debts. List them by the balance, so that's the total amount you owe. List by the interest rate and the minimum payment. So every month, you're going to make the minimum payment on all of the accounts, but you should be accelerating the payment of one credit card or one debt every single month. Don't spread it out between all of them. Pick one, attack that. You can use the snowball or the avalanche method. Snowball is paying off the smallest balance. It'll make you feel good, because you'll see that going down quickly and it'll go away, right? It's a nice dopamine boost, right? Or you can use the avalanche. Avalanche makes more sense math-wise, because you pay off the highest interest rate first and you save money on interest. But your highest interest rate could be the balance, it could be the credit card with $15,000 on it, right? Yeah, then you ain't gonna get that paid off fast. But so you choose one debt, paid off, go to the next one, right? So like, this requires hyper focus. You have to be so committed to doing something different and seeing progress. The progress has to excite you. Period. That's how you get out of debt. Go make more money and let the progress of getting out of debt excite you, because it's not easy.
I want to say something. I love how you keep saying make more money, because I love that. There's this dude, and you probably know him, Dave Ramsey, right?
Yeah.
All his I bought his book.
Y'all can still see me on this.
Yes, you can.
Not the frame.
I bought his book like a few years ago. I forget what the title was, and all he's talking about is sacrifice, and cut costs. And it is a depressing book. And he has people call into his show and they complain about their debt, and then he just basically mauls them with this rhetoric of just eat peanuts every day, drink water every day, and live in a fucking hut. You know what I'm saying? Move out, and it's crazy.
Then they die.
Right. And the thing is, though, it's so depressing to listen to. And it's like, I feel like it makes other people feel like, and it made me feel like when I used to listen to it, but like, yo, this can't be the real answer for real. I know this dude, he makes money. He's a financial advisor, whatever. He's probably a millionaire. But it's like, what he's telling his people it doesn't sound healthy to me. It didn't help my soul listening to it. You know what I mean? So.
I do not like him.
Okay,
so let me just
let her go.
Okay, go ahead.
I can't stand that man. Okay, so
go ahead.
This about to get deep, and hopefully I don't end up dead talking about this.
No, you straight.
We got you.
Yeah.
Look, once it get out on the airwaves, I'm about to be going like Dr. Sebi.
No.
No, because so people profit off of fear.
Ooh.
And
where's my horns at?
They profit off of you not doing what's in your best interest, right? So we know the healthcare system is trash, but if everybody gets healthy, the system collapses, right? So it's the same thing with financial education, unfortunately. right? There are a lot of financial educators that promote fear and poverty mindset because it continues to feed their sales funnel. If I'm afraid of, always being broke and, oh, I can't go make more money, focus my energy on sacrifice and being sad, like we talked about earlier, like it prevents my ability to tap into my creativity to go make more money.
Right.
How is it that
Defeats the purpose.
he's telling everybody to cut all these expenses and be so frugal and don't spend no money, but he profits from book sales, from sponsorships on his podcast, from getting people to become financial coaches to teach his curriculum,
Speaking engagements,
money, right? So you telling everybody else to just cut expenses, but you are creating additional income streams and making more money.
Facts. Yep.
So I don't like him.
So
and
he's not following the advice that he's giving people.
No,
he's right.
He's not. He's a hypocrite.
Let's go.
Lord.
So there's
Shots.
a space for cutting back and living within your means, right? You don't want to be excessive, but at the same time, let me tell you something. As a financial advisor, I am never telling my clients that they have to live without every form of fun. That is depressing as hell. One of the things I ask is like, what is something that brings you joy, and making sure we put it in the budget, because
that's important.
You could be on this journey to pay off all this debt and become a millionaire, and your heart could stop. And then you out here being miserable, eating rice and beans for 18 months straight.
Not.
For what?
For not.
To pay off the bankers and the creditors.
We're going to be responsible, and we're going to make sure your plan is in alignment with what you value. But at the end of the day, I'm not about to tell you, turn off all the heat in your house and bring the thermostat
put the
down
water in the stove.
62.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Wear 7 coats in the winter
Split
inside.
the toilet paper.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
We're not doing that. I'm gonna say, hey, baby, go make some more money.
That's
right,
that's
so
such a beautiful response. I fucking love it.
It is. What are some of the creative ways you've seen people go make more money?
Oh, okay.
Talk to them.
This
Yes,
thing,
right.
right?
I'm just
Okay.
saying, man.
So I believe that people got the 7 streams of income thing messed up, right? And I was a victim of this too. So every time I tell a story, I be speaking from experience because I was messing up, right? But I feel like that's the best way to teach.
Right.
So people be thinking you need to have 7 different businesses, right? So at one point I was a teacher. I was running my financial coaching company. I was officiating at track meets. I was still doing hair, right? So I was like, oh, 4 income streams,
Awesome.
money.
Let's go.
No, baby. My attention was split, time divided. And you want people to know you as the expert of something. And so when you are looking for ways to make more money, you need to find whatever your zone of genius is and narrow and focus in on that. And I don't care if you are a W-2 employee or what, right? It don't matter. Whatever it is that you're good at, find additional audiences and verticals to go deep in that area of expertise. So for example, if you're listening to this and let's say you are really good at project management, right? You work for some company. If you're good at organizing, start consulting on the side, helping people get their projects in place. That's additional income stream. Cool. Now write an ebook so that people can download that process and do it themselves. Create a course.
Monetize, right.
Partner with organizations that need speakers for project management, right? You identify all the different audiences and the different ways to package that genius in your head to sell that particular area of expertise. So now when anybody thinks about project management, they think of you, right? They like, oh, you the lady that be having the structure and organization for the project. Like, I need my project done, right? Versus being the person that has a paparazzi business and a life insurance consultant and what other network marketing, and you got 17 network marketing companies, but you can't tell me nothing about nothing in none of those. And this is not shots fired. This is, I did that too, right? But that's not what works. When I started just focusing on money and teaching about money, now people like, oh, you're the financial advisor, or oh, you're the financial educator, or oh, you're the people
That's
you're
what
the
I
person that
seen.
speak on
Yeah,
money.
yeah. That's what I seen through your Instagram. Yeah, all the financial tips, all that is dope.
Right, and that's all it is. And so there's lots of different ways to make money from what I know about money. So you focus on that and you get those 7 income streams from that one area of expertise. Now, after those streams is like busting out the seams, then you could go step into another lane, right? Then you go, get your wing spot, right? Then you go
buy some franchises, right?
Then you go do those other things. But that one stream, that one vertical got to be overflowing where people they know that's you, and all the other stuff can be silent. You don't.
Right, because it's on
put
autopilot.
The money into it, right? So that's the biggest mistake I'm seeing people make is like they find the hottest trend and they're like, oh well, let me go jump on this, right?
So I'm guilty of that. I'm guilty of that. Like, was it the drop shipping and the fucking Shopify and all?
And there's nothing wrong with doing drop shipping when it's complementary to your lane, right? So business. I could drop ship money planners or anything that helps you manage your finances better, right? I could drop ship that kind of stuff, but I'm not about to shift my focus right now and start a whole different type of business. No, it has to complement.
That's dope. That's dope.
Man, Pepsi sells 13 flavors of the same drink.
True. This is dope. This is dope advice. I know I'm guilty of just trying to spread myself thin over all type of lanes. Author King, you could test to that. I need to stick on to my shit, which I feel like I know what it is, but again, I'll get an idea or I'll see something like, oh, I'm gonna do this over here. Fuck around with this for a couple of months, get bored.
Dog.
Yeah, no, I'm getting better though. I'm getting definitely better, and this is dope.
Look,
this is dope advice.
Consistency is hard. Listen, because it get to a point where it's like, this is boring.
Yeah.
This is so boring, but it works.
Right.
It works.
What would you say to those people?
Go ahead.
Well, my fault. So what would you say? Because I know there's some people out there that they're going to listen to this and they're going to be like, oh, that sounds great. But I'm not talented. I don't have no aspirations. I can't do anything. I don't have any particular skill set. Like those people that just like I guess they're just employees or they just find whatever job they can and they have no like. Do you have an answer for those type of people, or is it just are those the people that you don't really speak to because they're the low vibrational beings? I mean, do you have a response?
My response is keep living.
Okay.
They
try to find something.
They probably aren't listening to podcasts like this, right? Like you have to have a level of
awareness,
desire to change to go out and listen to this particular kind of podcast, right? But yeah,
makes sense.
Thanks for niching our audience.
Huh?
Thanks for niching our audience.
What you mean?
Hell yeah. Our audience, our people trying to figure shit out.
But yeah, so you put a cap on. Appreciate that.
What? I'm just saying, like, y'all don't want no listeners that ain't got no ambition. The point is for people to listen to this and to take one nugget and to run with it, right? Like, it might not be every episode they get something from, but they're going to come across somebody and like, oh, that's it. That's what I needed to hear, right? That was the spark. And so there's a group of people that listen to podcasts that are not quite ready to execute, but after hearing something from somebody they can identify with, they get that thing they need, that the light just turns on. I tell you what, right?
I hope there's somebody that used to listen to Dave Ramsey and then hear this podcast and is like, fuck that motherfucker. I ain't fucking with his ass no more just from listening to this shit. Because that's important. Fuck Dave Ramsey. I'll put it out there. I'm on the chopping block too. You know what I'm saying? I bought the book. I read the book. I gave it to my moms. I was like, read this shit.
I had his book so I could secretly be like, what Kool-Aid he feeding?
And I'm going to tag his ass when we drop this.
Oh, Lord. You going to have the people coming out.
Let's go.
I told you.
Let's do it. I'm with it. We going to tag the fuck out of him.
Got to go buy some
That's two people that's proof that Dave Ramsey ain't for them. Two people that's proof right there. That's crazy.
I knew he won't for me. I just bought the book because I was trying to figure out if the Kool-Aid recipe was. Listen, there are recipes. You copy them joints, right? Like there are recipes. I've been saying like, go make more money, Yes, but after that, go buy assets. That's literally how people build wealth, right? The assets that you buy differ from person to person, but if you're not acquiring assets, you are not getting wealthy.
And saving money don't mean shit. It doesn't do shit.
No,
the banks
stop
don't
saving
pay you.
money. You saved a little bit to have your emergency
6 months,
fund,
right? Yeah.
The cushion.
Or the cushion, right? I changed the name of my account so
Mm-hmm.
often. I think it's called I Am right now, but because I don't like emergency fund, it just sounds sad, right?
Right.
Crazy, right?
But,
Scary.
yeah, it's like emergency, right? I don't want to speak that
like
into
emergencies,
existence.
right?
Don't
do it.
I am
Don't do it.
prepared for whatever comes my way, right?
Right.
But that after that little bit, that's not really working that much, and it should, because you should have it in a high yield savings account. But after that, every other dollar has a job, right? And I don't even mean just the money that's invested, but like the money in your regular budget, it's working. So if the dollars are to go towards food, that is a job. This money's job is to feed me and nourish my body so that I can operate at my highest ability. This particular set of dollars are for my therapies, right? My mental health. If I need physical therapy, like this is for me to operate at my best, highest self. And so when you start to look at your money like that, where it's employed and it has a return, the return might not be, interest rate return. The return might be, it lets me show up as the best version of myself. Things are different. I can promise you that. And this is from a different level, not just as a financial advisor, but as somebody who had to make the shift myself. It went from just numbers on a page to outcomes that I'm expecting.
Right.
So you have to make that transition from, oh, I'm following in a budget because I'm supposed to no, this is working because I need this to go forward in this way so that I can get an expected return. So
dope. I love this.
I don't know what the question was, but I hope I answered.
I forgot. I don't know. Did I ask the question? I forgot. But I love the response. Make more money. How do I get out of debt? Make more money. That's it. That's very simple.
Make more money.
It's simple. It's
buy
simple.
more assets.
I love it. Thank you so much.
That's the name of the title right there. Buy more assets. Make more money, man. Miss Wills, thank you for coming through. We appreciate you. You always got some good energy for us. Always got some good vibes for us, man. Leave the people with one thing. It's the Starbucks. They ain't sent the check yet.
There it is.
They will. Don't worry. I'm gonna have all the endorsements.
Show it again, because I believe them.
Let's go. Boom.
Leave them with a word of wisdom for the money woes, right? Leave them with a word of wisdom.
Oh, word of wisdom.
It's the outro.
I'm just kidding. It would have to be become intentional about becoming wealthy. Like, believe it so deeply that there is no other option. Like, wealth is the only option, period. There's no plan B. There's no, oh, well, it didn't work out. Like, no. You have no choice but to become wealthy, because if you don't, the people coming after you are stuck in the same place. Like, I can't afford that. Even if I never have any children, I got a niece and a nephew that will be trust fund babies. Because
build for your family, yeah.
Period. Already. Like, there's no reason for us to continue this same cycle. And even if you don't have a next generation, maybe you don't have siblings, you ain't got no people coming after you. What about the community that raised you? Because I know for me, I was raised in a village, and so there's a lot of people that I owe. Because there's just no way that
that's dope.
I could do this. I call my
big deal. I couldn't close it out no better than that. That was great, man.
Oh, yeah,
appreciate you coming through.
That's perfect.
Y'all catch our info at the bottom. Website is gonna be in the hashtag, man. Thank you for coming through. We appreciate your time. Really, really do.
Thank you
Thanks
so
for
much.
having me.
That was dope.
You did
Thank
great.
you.
You're awesome.
All right. Have a good night. Appreciate you.
Calling all creatives of the 757. Are you ready for the livest skate party on the planet? I know you are. 757's Got Talent and FGM present local music only skate night. Showing love to all the locals. We are showcasing all genres of music. To have your music in the rotation, just fill out the artist submission form, send it, and see you there. Y'all gotta pull up. So bring your friends, your family, bring your skate crews, everyone. Set it off. We're here to have a great time and show love to the Hampton Roads community. It's for lovers. Vendor and sponsorship packages are available. For more information, contact 757sgottalent@gmail.com. What are you waiting for? Skate Dojo is a place to be. November 20th, 6 to 9. See you there.